Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome to episode 2 of Good Game, Bad Idea. Now, somebody sent me a message saying that my voice sounds kind of lispy, and if I just have a lisp or not. But no, I don't have a lisp, like to my knowledge. Nobody's ever told me if I had a lisp or not. But it's just the kind of mic I'm using, the mic that I game with, and it's a pretty cheap mic. I think it was like $25. The one that the PDP headbanger headset. I usually would use my camera, but it's dead right now, and I have not charged it. And I record these episodes all in one day, so yeah. But anyway, welcome to another episode of Good Game, Bad Idea. Today's episode will be Call of Duty 5. This is my favorite Call of Duty out of all the Call of Duties. All of the Call of Duties is my favorite one, and I gotta tell you, this game had every fucking thing right. It had everything right. It had everything that a World War II game should have. It had unscoped bolt action rifles. It had, single fire freaking assault rifles. They weren't even called assault rifles, they're just regular rifles, semi-automatic rifles. It had good submachine guns. Oh my god. I know we're all used to Black Ops and the terrible submachine guns, but it had good submachine guns. It had, it had its fair share of bad weapons. I mean, it had its fair share of overused things, but it was my favorite Call of Duty, and in my opinion, is the most balanced Call of Duty, and that's only because it's certain things. A lot of people like to complain about things. Me myself, I'm one of those people. I complain a lot about a lot of stuff in that game, but I think even compared to Black Ops, it is fairly balanced. As Black Ops had, a shitload of overpowered weapons. This one only has like one overpowered weapon. But let's get right into it. Call of Duty 5 was produced by Treyarch. Treyarch is the other company that makes most of the World War II Call of Duties that opposes Infinity Ward. Infinity Ward is the one that made the Modern Warfare series and kickstarted the Call of Duty franchise. Get it all the publicity and whatnot. And pretty much they trade off. Infinity Ward and Activision trade off on hating each other on being hated on by the consumer every time they make a new game. So I know everybody's hyped and everything, including myself, for Modern Warfare 3, but face the facts. In like a year, we're all gonna be going, "Fuck you, Robert Bowling. Fuck you, Robert Bowling. You said it wasn't gonna be this way. You said it was gonna be this way." You know it's how it's gonna be. And then they're gonna announce another game, and it's gonna be all like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, Treyarch's gonna take over. We're not gonna have to deal with this shit anymore." And then another year is gonna go by, it's gonna be like, "Oh, fuck you, JD 2020. It's the same thing. It's the same goddamn thing." And it's gonna be back and forth, and it's gotta stay that way. Because let me explain something to you before I start this episode off fully, just about Call of Duty 5. But to actually make profit, you have to, have something to look forward to next game. So this is why I envision them doing in the Call of Duty, game idea area. They sit down, they come up with a whole bunch of great ideas, balance weapons, balance perks, balance kill streaks, balance everything. And then it's always that one dude that goes, "Wait, if we give them everything perfect, they're not gonna want a new game, they're just gonna want DLC. We gotta get a fucked up weapon in there, a fucked up perk, and some fucked up peripheral to just fuck with their head, so they'll have to buy the next one. They'll have to buy the next one because they'll think this one is gonna be the one. We gotta keep them giving that way, or else we're not gonna make as much money." That's just how it works. That's how business works. That's how it works. Even if it does, have us breaking our balls over here, fucking dealing with 74U rapid fires and FAMASs and MP40s and M16s and shit like that. But I'm not here to harp on those weapons. Or am I? Stay tuned to find out. But on to the topic. Call of Duty 5 was released in, I think, 2008. I'm not exactly sure. And when it came out, a lot of people were kind of disappointed because Call of Duty 4 was a game that preceded that one. And it was all, modern. It was called Modern Warfare, and it had, all the modern weapons in it. People were used to the modern gameplay, and this one just took you straight back to World War II. But I liked it. It was I don't know. It was pretty awesome. That's what I gotta say. It's not the best. Call of Duty 4 is still definitely the best Call of Duty, but it was my favorite Call of Duty because to be frankly honest, I'm a sniper. And Black Ops is fucked up sniping, just to be honest. It's so unpleasant sniping. And not at the end of the life cycle they're trying to fix it. It's not even a point to fucking do it. But they had they had some of the best snipers in the game. My favorite sniper of all time, the Car 98K, was in there, and I love that weapon. They had the Mosin Nagant, another one of my favorites. A lot of people like to harp on the Arasaka because of his iron sights and his damage and his accuracy and a whole bunch of other stuff. But I like the Arasaka. The Arasaka was fairly easy to use, and it was one of my favorite weapons. And that's the one I got the most quick scopes with on the Wii. And in case you don't know, yes, World at War was produced for the Wii, and it had awful lag, and they didn't put all the stuff in it, even though they had the game code in it for all the game modes and whatnot. They had they had them all templated out, and they had all the peripherals in there, but they couldn't finish it. I guess they hit the deadline, and they didn't have enough time. But the graphics on that game are awful and everything. But honestly, I say it is the most. It's I don't know. It's the one that you go to like if you're like you're bored and you want to play. You don't go to the other ones. You go to the other ones when you want to rape people's faces in. But it's one of the more fun versions for it. The same with Black Ops and Modern Warfare on the Wii. But the one thing that fucked that game up though. Let me just give you the class. MP40 round drum. Freaking Bouncing Betty, Juggernaut, and Steady Aim. That's all you need to pull a 10KD every game. Every game, use that, you'll pull a 10KD. I guarantee you. I guarantee you, you will always pull a 10KD using that. But it just fucked up the game so bad. The round drum gave it 64 freaking bullets in one clip, and you had you had 3 or 4 clips to go through. So that's a lot of fucking ammo. And the MP40 was a 2-shot kill without stopping power. So you harp in Juggernaut to that. Every other weapon in the game is a 2-shot kill with stopping power. MP40 is a 2-shot kill without stopping power. Fuck, you fucked up. You're fucked if you run into that class. They got steady aim. I swear, I shit you not. You can hip fire people from cross map on cliffside. If you've never seen the line of sight on cliffside, it's fucking gigantic. You can hip fire people from cross map on cliffside doing that stuff. I'm just saying. It's extremely overpowered. That one class infected the game, and it didn't necessarily ruin it. You can still play it. You can still play an MP40 user with the exact setup with Thompson or a good old fashioned Type 100 double tap or stopping power. But they always had the advantage. They always had the ammunition on you. They had the hip fire on you. They had the power on you. They didn't have the rate of fire, but they had everything else on you. Every motherfucking thing else on you. They had the advantage, except for the rate of fire. That was it. But overall, it was my favorite game. It was sweet, simple. You had camouflage, which is ghost bitches infect Black Ops now, and it's so hard to use spy plane in a TDM without having one player appear and there's 5 players on the other team. It's always like that. But in that game, you had camouflage, but it had to compete with stopping power and whatnot. So it wasn't really as much as a menace as it is in Black Ops. All the perks and stuff were pretty balanced in that era. A lot of people like to bitch about Juggernaut. I was on that bandwagon a while ago, but I kind of accepted the fact that stopping power really did counteract it. Unless you had an MP40 on, then it was perfectly fair for you to have Juggernaut and me to have stopping power. That's just what I'm saying. So if Juggernaut was a viable option, it wasn't. A lot of people like to say Jugger bitch. I used to say it a lot, but I'm not on that bandwagon anymore. But doesn't matter. It's gone now. Another thing that was awesome about that game was the kill streaks. They kept them sweet and simple. 3, 5, 7. Spy plane, artillery, dogs. Perfect setup. You always have spy planes, so if you get a 3 kill streak, bam, you can see the entire enemy team for 30 seconds. It's perfectly fine. It was nothing wrong with that. I mean, it kept the game going. That's what kept it fast-paced. That's what kept all the campers dormant until the beast that is Black Ops emerged. I mean, and even Last Stand, one of the most hated perks nowadays. Back before Black Ops, it wasn't any of that 5-second invincibility shit. I don't give a fuck what Vonderhaar says. There was not an invincibility in Call of Duty 4, Call of Duty 5, or Modern Warfare 2. or not even far for Final Stand in Modern Warfare 2, where you got to keep your primary. Not even for that was there a fucking invincibility delay, and that was fucking atrocious. But now in Black Ops, we're talking about fucking bullshit. It was always there. No, it wasn't. It was perfectly fine. I never had a problem with Second Chance in fucking any of the other games, unless it was like unless it was a quad coming up, then it would be a problem. You know, dude just fucking falls on his back instantly and takes you out with a pistol. That would kind of fuck you up right there. But all out of all, if I had to rate Call of Duty 5, I would give it a 7.5 out of 10. It would be a 8.5 out of 10, but the MP40 just fucked that game all up. It really did. If you don't have Call of Duty 5, I do recommend that you do not get it now, because Call of Duty 5 and Call of Duty 4 are infected with hackers on the PS3 and 360. On the Wii, it's always been infected with hackers, but it's not as serious on the Wii as it is on the PS3 and 360. Believe it or not, it's not as common that you would run into it. But the thing is that it had lag in it, and by lag I meant like it had aiming lag. So you have to like, I don't know. It was more of a spray fest than actual accuracy in that game. But if you really do want to play it, you can still pick it up for the PS3. It would be fairly good on that. I think it's less hackers on the PS3 than on the 360, which means it's not really that many on the PS3. You could make it into a pretty good lobby on the PS3 and just have a real fun time. But I do warn you, it will be frustrating with all the MP40. But you can still bust out the old Thompson and have a nice time. But yeah, that's been this episode of Good Game, Bad Idea. This has been Fallen, and I will see you in 2 days, I think.